The electronics up against us today. Another hitch there. I was hoping we could see that penalty miss and then the Roberto Firmino header that led to the Liverpool equalizer. But a game of two halves, really. Liverpool, I haven't seen Liverpool like that in a while. Dominated Arsenal from beginning to finish in that second half, but Arsenal will feel, I mean, should they be happy with this draw? Should they feel let down by this result?
I think because of the last minute where Martinelli could have slipped Saka in, they will feel they could have won this game. But on the balance of it, they were lucky to get a draw. Because I always say, let's also look at the score is the most important stat. But if we look at the other stats, it can tell us a story. Look, Liverpool recorded an XG of 4 to Arsenal's 1.4. And combined, that's about the third most in any Premier League game this season in terms of XG. But the highest XG Arsenal have faced all season is 2. So an XG of 4, you would have expected Liverpool to score 4
there was
goals.
a Darwin Nunez one-on-one chance that he wasted.
Those are the type of things. So if you look at the numbers, Arsenal got away with it. Salah had 20 touches in the Arsenal box, the most by any player in the opposition box in a Premier League game this season. And
20 touches.
And look, this is against the league leading team. That should tell you how much Liverpool raised their game, because we've seen Liverpool this season. They are not a title contender. They are not even a top four contender. But they raised their game to the point that they battered Arsenal in the second half. And that's, if you look at the way the match played out, the first half, they could not cope. But in the second half, they were all over Arsenal. Arsenal really...
They were lucky.
They showed up in the second half. And when I mean show up, I mean they were there physically, but they didn't come to play football. They came to be like training cones for Liverpool. That's how bad it was. And they were lucky to get away with their points. So for me, I think it's a great performance by Liverpool. Unfortunately, they didn't get the results. But also a good result for Arsenal, because you get battered like that and you at least have the points. So worst case scenario, City win their game in hand. It's still 3 points. You can still, if you get a result at the Etihad, you draw, you still have that 3 points gap. You win, it goes back, it goes to 6 points. So things are still okay.
Just let me hold you to that particular game. I mean, what do you think it will come down to? Individual quality, in-game management, like Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola all over again?
I think this game will be a great game because Arsenal are a bit better away from home, in my opinion. They're a bit more efficient away from home. And Man City are picking up a winning streak. They've won about 8 or 9 in a row. So I think they'll meet at the right point, because I think they meet as even though it's a replayed game, it will be about the 34th, 35th game of the season. So it will be very close to crunch time. So for all you know, that one of them might even drop points and change things up. So we might even go into that game and they are level on points. We might go into that game, Arsenal are 6 points ahead. It can be 2 points. So anything can happen between there and then. It's very close to crunch time. So it will be a great spectacle. But today, Arsenal were lucky. They were a bit poor. But their first half kind of gave them the cushion to kind of survive the second half onslaught. And that's the thing. If you're a good team, you take the chances that came. Because I think apart from one chance Gabriel Jesus missed, I don't know, one chance he missed, I think Arsenal took their chances very well compared to Liverpool, who didn't. And I'll say, even though Mo Salah had a lot of touches in the box, his finishing was abysmal. Aside the goal, he could have scored 2 or 3, and he really let the team down.
Mohamed Salah letting the team down. Is he still up to the same quality of player that we've seen in past years? Because, again, big contracts don't come with big returns.
He scored about 20 goals this season. Let's be fair to him. I think he had a bad game today, but he's
had a good
scoring.
season?
Yeah, he scored about 20 goals and about 10, 12 assists. Look, the numbers are good. It just hasn't translated, but the numbers are good.
Into team success. Well, fair enough. Quick thoughts on Arsenal. Is that a performance Arteta should be worried about? Big game, you go 2 goals up, manage to crumble, and almost you're hanging on by a thread by the time the game is over. Now, like we've mentioned, this is the most important part of the season. Do they have the mental fortitude to navigate this?
Well, I look at the first half. I think that is where Arsenal should have won the game, because I don't know what the pep talk from Mikel Arteta was to the boys in the second half. Because second half, like Jesus said, they came on the pitch, but they were not playing the football. And it just allowed Liverpool
It seemed like they were hiding.
Yeah, it just allowed Liverpool to grow confidence with what they were doing. And that is where the penalty and all the second goals came in.
So I think about 15 minutes where they didn't get out of their house.
Yeah, it was just intense from Liverpool, and clearly they knew what they were. I think that was wrong for Mikel Arteta. I was just hoping that they continued from where they left off and the first half kept on with their style of play. I think Arteta in his mind, when the scoreline was 2-1, was to probably keep the scoreline that way and just exit Anfield with a 3 points. But look, it is Anfield. Like I said, in as much as Liverpool will be in a very bad form, Anfield will always be Anfield. You get the fans rallying.
To be honest, their home form has been so much better than
exactly.
It's their away form that's really
that has been patchy. Yeah, so Anfield will always
they've lost
be
only
Anfield.
one game at home.
Yeah,
and they've lost like how many? They've won only 3 away, just for comparison.
Yeah, they've been really poor away from home.
So I think that was a very wrong approach from Mikel Arteta. Speaking about whether his players do have the mental toughness to continue, I'm not too sure of what Mikel Arteta would.
We saw them crumble out of the Europa League.
Yeah.
To a sporting team that was really young.
Exactly. And you see, this is the time where if you want to pick him and Arteta, that's Pep. Pep knows how to do this very well. Coupled with the squad depth he has.
He's been in this situation
at this moment.
a couple of times.
The players themselves do also have that experience. But for Mikel Arteta's team, you cannot pinpoint as much as 7 or 8 players who have that mental toughness.
Gabi, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Look, they are playing Bayern Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is it Tuesday? I don't know the exact date. Sorry, I don't know.
They are
playing Tuesday,
Man
Wednesday.
City in the Champions League.
They are playing, Man City are playing Bayern on midweek.
Yeah.
They'll play Bayern after the weekend again.
Yeah.
Do you and they might even progress. Do you think that might affect their weekend game that they are playing between the two? And they'll have a difficult game and might not be able to pick up the 4 points.
No, I don't think
and
so.
They also have the FA Cup as well.
Yeah.
So it means that one of their weekend games will be postponed and they'll have to play 2 games in 1 week. Whereas Arsenal are going to be playing weekend.
Yeah.
I think
that
until
puts
they
more
play,
pressure on Manchester
I think
City.
until they play City, they'll be playing only on the weekend. Do you think that will play a part?
But you look at the squad depth Peppers. I think that you can't compare that to City. You can't compare that to Arsenal because Arsenal cannot boast of that squad depth. Yes, Pep can chop and change his team as and when to suit the kind of opponents they are coming up against. And you always find a way to navigate his way through. You get it. So I don't see them.
You don't think the extra
crumbling?
games?
Nah, I don't think so. I think that.
And I also think that they are used to this sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's
City have been in this situation a lot of times. They know how to get through
it. It's not that I don't believe they are not used to it, but I believe that considering how well Arsenal are playing, even that one draw that you could get, because Liverpool were also playing as many games, that one draw, those 2 draws, that might be a bit because of fatigue, the extra game.
I mean, it's definitely
it will matter more
because some influential players will definitely play across those games.
Yeah, exactly. It just matter a bit more because Arsenal are less likely. Like I've always said, if Arsenal are playing against a team that are probably in the bottom half, that they are better than, they'll win that game. Yeah. But in City's case, you feel that sometimes they might, maybe because of the extra games, there might be 1 or 2 games where they should win that they don't.
It's very possible.
Maybe fatigue setting in.
Exactly. That's the only reason I'm asking
it's
about
it's very possible.
Games.
And I mean, for me, for Arsenal, on the issue of mental fortitude, I think that's where people like Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko come in, because you have been in a championship locker room or dressing room before. You know how it feels. You know what the conversations were like then. It's up to you to communicate these to your teammates and say, hey, I know the nerves are a bit up the ceiling right now, but this is when you actually need to calm down. If you have a story or 2 to share, that's when Jesus and Zinchenko come in. That's where your championship DNA kicks in. So I hope they can manage to even it out, because, hey, it's a very interesting world here. Manchester City will be smashing records if they win another Premier League title. Let's get